All right, welcome to another episode of The Magic Hour. I'm your host, Majid Nderi, aka Magic Leb. Be sure to follow me on my Instagram at Fame Film Agency and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Majid Nderi. Today we have the very nice, the very white, the very Canadian Kent Michael.
Thank you.
How's it
going?
going?
For having me.
Yeah, anytime. Now, answer me this: is it true that you went to school or you were friends with Ryan Gosling?
No, not at all. His hometown is Cornwall, Ontario, and that's where we're from the same hometown. But lots of people in Cornwall have a connection to Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
In some way.
So do you have a direct?
I would have known him. I would have seen him, but not personally.
Okay.
I don't have a personal one, but like family and everyone else in town.
Oh, that's not the story I heard.
He was a bit younger than me. I'm a bit younger than him.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I don't know who it was, but somebody told me that you went to school with him or something.
Not quite, no.
No, okay, but that's still pretty good. That's the closest to a celebrity that we've gotten on this show. In terms of connection to a celebrity.
There must be some Australian celebrities, right?
Ryan is international fame. There are a few Australians that have international fame, but they're just...
Surely someone's gone to school with Sia here. This is Adelaide, right? Everyone, Sia, that's pretty international.
I can't say that because I don't know who that is.
Sia, the singer. She had some 2010.
Well, that's the problem.
Era.
I stopped listening to music after 2008.
Oh,
all right, like that's when the downfall of music started to really go overboard.
Yeah,
it's
pretty big.
Well, okay, look, dude, a lot of people are big, and I don't even pay attention to any one of them. And I mean, what last boy band was big? One Direction.
Saja Boys. They're a fictional boy band from a movie, and they're pretty big at the moment.
See, I just stopped caring about music in a big freaking way, like because I don't know, it just turned to, it went in the wrong direction. I don't know how to explain it. Okay,
it was One Direction,
and they went straight to hell with that direction.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm saying is like, I feel like music has completely lost its way. There's no soul left in it. When you listen to a song, whether from the 60s, 50s, wherever, you like it the second you hear it. Have you ever heard of a song the first time you heard it, like, oh my God, this is amazing?
Yeah.
Or, oh my God, it resonates and it hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel that with the last 10, 15 years, I haven't been feeling it as much. Okay. I'm not saying it's not there anymore, but it's not as strong. Like in the 80s, you had hits coming from everywhere. You had artists coming from everywhere. We had Billy Joel. We had Michael Jackson. We had George Michael. We had Whitney Houston. We had Prince. We had Phil Collins. The list goes on and on and on. Yeah. We had Journey and all this stuff we had hits coming from everywhere. No wonder they called it the golden era, because there was gold to be found everywhere. Right now, it's like they're mining for the hits and we can't find the gold. No. It's like it's just getting harder to find those kinds of songs. The
Saja Boys are pretty good though. They are fictional.
Okay, they're fictional.
They
okay.
only exist in a movie, but I think they had like probably 2 or 3 on the actual Billboard charts. This K-pop Demon Hunters, big movie on Netflix. I think it had like 4 out of the 10 top positions on the Billboard charts. And then I think Taylor Swift dropped an album and it sort of flushed them away.
Okay, so that's the name I've been hearing a lot. Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know what she is. She's the poster child for today's modern music. I don't know.
Potentially,
I'm not sure. But all I know is that these girls today love Taylor Swift the way the girls 30 years ago or 20 plus years ago loved Britney Spears.
Yeah, maybe.
But the only difference is I think Taylor Swift is probably more of an artist, because like she probably writes her own songs. As far as I know, she was supposed to be a country singer. She was originally going to be a country singer, but turned towards the pop.
Trajectories evolved over time.
Yeah.
There's been eras.
Yeah.
There's been an eras tour about those eras. So yeah.
So
I'm not familiar with her.
No. I only know this much of her because I have female relatives that are very young and they won't shut the hell up about her. Okay. And I've heard a couple of her songs on the radio, whatever. Okay, fine. She's got something. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to badmouth all the artists. My job is not to badmouth artists. I'm just saying the direction of music has changed. I mean, if Taylor Swift was living in the 80s, I'm sure her songs would probably be better. I don't know, or I don't know. It would be more tuned to that era. That's all I'm trying to say. There are some good artists. I mean, Adele, I think is terrific.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars, even though he copies Michael and Prince a lot, but still is doing his own thing. He's still at least he writes his own shit.
Yeah.
And he's making hits. There are something there, but what I'm saying is it just doesn't hit anymore.
I'm trying to think of
it doesn't
an
hit.
artist that sort
it doesn't hit. Like Purple Rain. You know the song Purple Rain by Prince?
Vaguely, yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, vaguely. How old are you again?
I should probably know, but 40.
40. So you should know Prince. Okay, hang on. Another song. Okay. Bohemian Rhapsody.
I'm aware of that one, yeah.
Now, when you hear that, doesn't it just get inside you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So the Soulja Boys have a song called Soda Pop, and look, it'll change your perspective.
It's not going to be like a Justin, baby, oh, baby,
Very
no.
similar.
Oh, come on.
One of the characters' name is Baby Saja. So
I don't even want to touch that, but you know what? That could be a comedy bit. I mean, I actually tried to do a comedy bit about the changes of music through time.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that many adults say to their children, and goes, "Oh, it's all about sex. Music is all today's about sex." And my argument was, when the fuck was it not about sex?
It's always been, yeah.
It's always been about sex.
Yeah.
I think even back in the Mozart days, when they were composing, they were probably thinking, if I do this, I'm going to get laid so well, so badly.
That's some heavy bass.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure Beethoven put that down. He's deaf, and I think he got into music so he can get some pussy. All right? Like, when was it never about getting laid? That was the point. The only thing, at least in the 90s, we had codes in our songs about getting laid. You know?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, TLC had that song, The Red Light Special. I'll give you the red light special. You know what a red light special is there, Kent?
Is that something you'd order?
No, that's all. See, this is for my how can I say this? Today's generation's impaired. All right. In the 90s, there was code for sex. Like today, they'll probably just say it, look at me, fuck me, whatever. It's just so out there. Like it's lost its mystery. It's lost the appeal. It's lost the whole mysterious kind of thing that actually turned you on. It's like when you're looking at a picture of a model in a bikini. She's hotter in the bikini than she is when she's naked. Because when she's naked, it's just out there. With the bikini, it leaves a lot to your imagination. Oh, I want to see what's more out there, you know? It's not as enticing as it should be.
Right.
Now, getting back to the Red Light Special. A Red Light Special is a song written by Babyface that he wrote for TLC. T-Bus, Left Eye, and Chili, for those who don't know what TLC stands for.
I didn't know that.
No, T-Buzz is the boss chick, and Left Eye is the chick
Lisa,
with the
right?
yeah, Lisa, the one that passed away, and Chili was the hot one. I mean, they're all hot, but Chili was the hottest one to me. Well, actually,
song.
Left Eye was also hot. Fuck, you know what? They should call it threesome, 3 LCs. You know, I mean, they were just hot. They're all 3 of them hot. Now, the Red Light Special basically meant that when you're making love or fucking or whatever it is that you want to do it, and you're almost at the point at climax, they stop. They stop.
Right, okay.
That's where the red light is. You stop. The red light means stop. So when the guy's about to orgasm, or even when the female's about to orgasm, they both slow it down and start from the beginning. They actually stop fucking or making love for a few seconds, and then they start up again. And they do that 3 or 4 times before they both go at it, before they both climax. That's the Red Light Special. I give you the Red Light Special. It's like fucking but teasing, but without teasing while you're fucking. If that makes any sense at all.
The weather's so nice today. Isn't it like...
At least we got some sun. But the thing is, we don't have that today. Nobody's speaking in code.
Right.
No one is singing in code. All right? And it's just too out there. It's just too in your face. All right? And...
Literal.
Yes.
They need some subliminal.
Yes.
They just the liminal.
You know,
the superliminal.
The teasing and the enticing and the appetite to want it is just not there anymore. It's like when you go to a buffet, you want them to open the freaking trays so you can get excited to be what's under there. All right? They're not just going to give it to you open tray and say, here it is, everybody. And like, oh, come on. It's, you know, where do I start? You know, it's just kind of loses its appeal.
My taste in music's probably a bit more dated, like the Doors, that sort of era. That's sort of my.
Okay, maybe they didn't sing in code, but there are some songs in code. But there were some songs that were sung in code, like the Eagles, Hotel California. All right, there's over 100 interpretations of what that song is potentially about, and even the Eagles said, you know what, we love them all, and we're still not going to tell you which one we think it's about.
Like Tarantino, right? Like how he leaves his like the briefcase. What's in the
Yeah.
You get to decide.
You get to decide what it was.
Experience of what it is.
And when they asked him what's in the case, they said, "What do you think it's in the case?" It is whatever you think is in the case.
What do you think was in it?
There was just so many interpretations. I remember the obvious one was gold because of the yellow light. Right. And then one person came up with the theory, you know what? I think it's a crucifix, the golden crucifix, because it's a miracle thing. Because whenever somebody's got hold of that case, they don't die. Everybody that doesn't have the case ends up dead. The one that carries the case ends up always being the one that's alive.
Like protective.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Somebody said it was Marcellus Wallace's soul, which explains why he had the band-aid the back of his head, because his soul was taken from the back of his head, and all ridiculous types of theories came out. But you know what was really in the case? A light bulb.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what was in the case. Yeah. They open it up and it's a freaking light bulb.
Some guy with a light bulb.
The actual light bulb was in the case.
Yeah, right.
So and it was rigged that when you open it, it switches on. Hence that effect that they get.
It's quite literal.
Yeah. So that's what was in the case, a freaking light bulb. They went through all that shit over a bulb.
What was in the box in that Brad Pitt movie?
Oh, that's easy. That was Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
But you don't see it, do you?
No, she do. You don't see the head, but you see an image of her, a flash picture of her.
Okay.
That he, because he saw that it was her. So, and he said it. The killer said it. So I took a souvenir. Her pretty head.
Oh, okay.
It was out there. I mean, if you guys missed that, you're not the most intelligent bunch. I'm sorry.
I might have missed it. That's probably on me. I missed out on the subtleties of some things. Yeah.
And we had good movies in the 90s. 90s was good movies. In 1994, we had Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, God knows what, Major Payne. I love the Wayans brothers. Yeah. There were Shawshank Redemption.
I think I've seen this list of all the ones,
and that was just in 94 alone. We had so many great films. And it's interesting that we're talking about this because
Dude Perfect out.
Perfect?
Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, that was probably 2000.
2000,
if my guess. I was having this discussion last week with Tom how cinema has declined. Right, cinema has declined. It's gone down. It's gone down a lot.
I think it'll go even further down with AI.
No, I don't know. AI is only going to be used by cheap ass filmmakers who want to cut budget or people who don't care about the art anymore.
Which would be most of them, right?
Yeah, but look, do you think Scorsese is going to use AI in his films?
Maybe not.
I mean,
if it'll help him get down to 4 hours, down to 2.5. Maybe.
It depends on what movie he's doing. No, it's not good. I went to go see One Battle After Another, or Battle After the Other, one with DiCaprio, because of Paul Thomas Anderson, a real director, somebody that knows how to do cinema. Okay. A man who knows how to direct. I love Boogie Nights. I know I'm going to love this. And I watched the film. It was great. It was. I felt like I was going to the cinemas again. You know what I mean? That's nice. That felt good. There's a story. There's some structure. It's not done with old CGI. There's not many special effects in the whole freaking movie. It's just a good-ass story. And I miss watching good-ass stories. Now it's just too much right now. I mean, like they're focusing on the wrong thing. They're focusing on what sells. And movies are supposed to be making money, but movies are supposed to be art as well. And it's just not as artistic as it once used to be.
I think they have an issue too where sometimes a good reveal, like in a thriller or something like that, that's the substance. That's the big thing is like the surprise ending, the big twist, and they're having trouble getting those because of like Reddit, where people can just crowdsource what the ending. Like they've had to push Shrek 5 back because I think someone instantly guessed the whole storyline.
Okay. So it's becoming predictable.
Yeah, too
predictable. It's becoming predictable. I remember when Kill Bill came out, and after the first one was released, we were all...
I knew there was going to be a second.
No. I predicted he knew, he said there was going to be 2 before he made the film. That's
part of what I knew.
But I remember at the end, everybody was trying to predict who is the father to her baby. Does she know that her daughter is still alive? So everybody was wondering, who's the father? Who's going to be the father? None of us guessed it would actually be Bill. We're stupid. We should have seen that it was Bill. But the thing is, it left us guessing. Yeah, Bill was dead.
Oh, man.
All right? And it left us guessing. You know what I mean? It left us thinking. It resonated with us for a year until the next movie came out. I mean, that's good storytelling. You see, that was a storytelling. Okay, even though Kill Bill's all sliced them up in martial arts and killing here left and right, but he put a kick-ass story into it. Not the best story, but still enough to make us intrigued.
Yeah.
He kept us intrigued.
The hook.
You know, we didn't let go of it until the second movie came out.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. Where do you get that in movies today? Maybe Marvel. Maybe Marvel did keep cinema alive for a while, for a good 10, 15 years.
They've sort of dropped off quite a bit, though.
You know why? Because they finally finished the saga. It took 15 plus years to finish the saga. You know, with everybody's individual origin films like Iron Man and Captain America and Doctor Strange and all that kind of stuff, and then the Avengers and another Avengers and one more after that and the third one, fourth one after that. I mean, you know, that was all part of a gigantic story that came together at the end. Yeah. And now that it's finally finished, they're not going to want to repeat that. And that's a 20-year project.
They do, but they're having trouble getting people back on board because I always liked Marvel more than DC, Spider-Man and Wolverine over everything else. And yeah, I haven't seen Fantastic Four. I haven't seen like probably the last few Marvel movies. And yeah, I thought, it's a shame. I used to enjoy them, but now they're so formulaic. It's boring.
Here's an existential question. Are they getting boring or are we getting older, which makes us getting more bored?
I think they're getting boring because I haven't matured in any way. So
okay, that's a fantastic
should still
answer.
be in my sweet spot, but they are not, unfortunately. So, yeah.
Okay, well, enough about the great debate in cinema and music. Yeah. Let's get to comedy.
Yeah. Right.
All right, Mr. Canada. First of all, when did you come to Australia?
Early 2000s.
Okay, so you've been here for a while.
For a while, yeah. Right. That's why I have such a strong Australian accent now.
Fucking oath, I can totally hear it, mate. Fucking hear it.
You can barely tell I'm Canadian. Yeah.
I don't know why, but whenever I break into an Australian accent, it has to come with a fuck, you know, or a can't. You know, it just can't. I don't know how they can keep a straight conversation without cursing. I've never heard an Australian talking for more than 1 minute without a cunt or a fuck in there.
Sia, she does really well. You got to look her up.
Okay. She can speak without cursing.
She sings without cursing.
I know Australian celebrities can carry an interview without cursing.
Yeah.
But when you're just having a conversation with a day-to-day Aussie, all right, they just try to sneak one in there every now and then. I don't know. I think it's just nature.
Do that as well? Or
who?
Have you had a GP that was
a GP?
Yeah, like a doctor.
No. No. All my doctors have been foreigners, man. And the old doctors have been Indians, man. You know what? I would never trust a white Australian doctor. I'm sorry. You can call me racist. It's fine. I just feel more comfortable with an Indian because I know that he actually paid attention in school.
Okay.
You know? I mean, this guy would have gotten straight A's, you know? I know Aussies, man. I went to uni, man. I've seen Australian. I went to Flinders, and Flinders is a medical center. They have a medical center next to Flinders. Yeah. So they have a big campus for people that are being doctors. And during the freaking breaks, I'm seeing them smoking dope. You know what I mean? All right.
I'll keep those ones away from the scalpels.
I'm never seeing the Indian dude think, oh, I've got the exam coming up. I'm fucking stressed out. No, I don't see that shit. You know? But the Aussie, they will. Okay. So that's why if I have a doctor, he's going to be a black man or a brown man, somebody that actually paid attention. Or potentially Jewish. You know, because they actually do pay attention as well. Okay. You know, if you want lawyers and accountants, you go for the Jews. Stereotypical stuff here, and don't get offended. Look.
Public hospital. So.
If you need some wiring done, you come to me.
Okay. You good at wiring?
No, but the stereotype is supposed to be there. You know, but putting things together that can go pop. You know. Right. Now you got it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Reminded me. I've made the connection with the pager bit. Now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. All right. So Kent, when did you get into comedy?
I've always loved it. And always enjoyed laughing. It's very enjoyable to laugh. Yeah. But I've like the first time I was on stage was July 24 last year.
That's the last time you were on stage?
The first time.
Oh, the first time.
Yeah, is that right? I think it's like a year and a bit.
Okay, so you've only been into comedy for just under 2 years.
Yeah.
What? What made you want to finally do it?
It was sort of like I came up with a list of like achievable, so not like a bucket list, but maybe like a small goal list, just like some things that were achievable goals. And I was like, I've always wanted to do that. I'm going to give it a crack. I had like a joke that I'd had in my head for like 20 years that like I was like, oh, it would be funny if I did that, and I've got nowhere to use it. So I was like, okay, I'll scratch that itch, have a crack at it, and it didn't get the laugh that I expected, but I really enjoyed it. And the first time's always the crowd's really supportive of your first time, so it was like,
they show leniency.
Yeah. They're like, oh, this guy's trying something new. Let's encourage him. And then like after I think maybe the second one didn't go so well, and I was like, do I still want to do this? Yeah, I think I do. I think it's worth the risk. That the risk, I think, is probably part of the excitement. Risk that it'll go poorly or not go as planned. So yeah, I think since then I've just really enjoyed doing it, and good creative outlet, and yeah, get to communicate some ideas out there. Yeah.
Okay, so when you come up with material, what's your process when you come up with material? Do you get it from watching TV or observing people, or how does it come to you? Or does it come to you in the middle of the night when you got a funny joke, a funny scenario?
It'll be like any time. It'll be if I'll like hear something like a word, and then I'll be like, oh, what could I do around that word? It's fairly new. Just thought of like Yorkshire. I think someone at work had mentioned about Yorkshire something or other. Maybe just mentioned that. And then I was like, oh, what's one of the like... Anyway, so it basically became a joke about dogs, Yorkshire Terriers. So
okay. So you make that kind of connection. All right.
So it's mostly just random thoughts or experiences. Like there's like driving. I like driving in Adelaide. There's so many micro interactions that you have with other people, like if you like wave the other person, like if you let someone pass, right, when the street's too narrow and you have to, if the person gives you a wave, or if they let you in, you're like, oh, that's so generous and kind. And but if they don't, you're really angry about it. And you're like, how dare you,
Inconsiderate prick.
Right away. Yeah. And if they don't wave afterwards, so... There's so many little micro interactions like, oh, that's funny. I haven't done anything with that, but just day-to-day life stuff. And I try, if I see someone else has done something similar, it sort of takes the novelty. Like on the episode with Agostino that was on here, he talked about the Australian birds, how,
oh, yeah.
They're just really like, yeah, just terrible to wake up to in the morning, whereas other countries have beautiful ones. I was working, I was planning on doing one around that. I was like, damn, he's hit all the points that I was planning on. Scrap it. That's not fun anymore. So,
well, you can always have your own take of it. I mean, I've heard a lot of jokes about gun control. Chris Rock's one was good. And then Jim Jeffries Jim Jeffries does it, and it's like, wow, he also hit all the spots. But Chris Rock also, he goes, we don't need gun control, we need bullet control. Okay. We need to. I think all bullets should cost $5,000. So there won't be any more innocent bystanders. So but the thing is, you can still do the whole bird thing, and it can still be funny, but from a different take slightly.
I haven't figured out what that take
is. Yeah, that's the trick. That's the trick.
They're quite, they're quite, it's quite a hard sound to hear first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
That's all I had. So,
I was fortunate. Maybe you get bad birds in bad neighborhoods. I don't know. But here I just hear the pigeons, and all I hear is, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh. And that's kind of, okay, I can wake up to that. That's fine. But, now that I'm 46 years old, I don't hear as well as I used to, and I just sleep right through it. But as a kid, I remember I used to wake up to that all the time.
We've got, magpies in I think in the front of our house, but sometimes there's this really big gum tree behind us, and they'll be up there, and it's, right over where the washing line is. So they'll, crap on the clothes that I've just hung up on the line. And so I've got some ideas around that, but I'm like...
That's like a bird's way of saying, morning, bitch!
It's quite... Yeah.
Whose clothes do we want to crap on today?
Yeah. So I've started feeding them to see if they'll, I think it's a bit of one of those protection rackets.
What you should do is throw toast in the neighbor's backyard, so they'll eat there and probably end up crapping there.
Oh, okay. Shouldn't be mean to your neighbors.
If you don't want to, no, but you don't want your clothes to be crapped on either. So
Yeah.
better them than you, I guess. See,
yeah.
that's such a typical Canadian thing to say. Don't want to do. Here in Australia, like, I don't give a fuck. You know, they wouldn't care.
It's all
Even if
character.
they are best mates, they can be best mates, and they will still say, "Yeah, fuck him." You know?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? I still haven't figured it out to this day. You know, they love. They sound like they hate, but they don't hate because their hate comes from their love, in a way. You know, you fucking bastard, hate. You know, it's
Just
like
the banter, in its sort of vocal way, but also in interactions.
Yeah.
It's just everything's playful.
exactly right. You know, so if anything, it's like pulling a prank on each other. Yeah, that was me, mate. I fucking threw some fucking toast there to the birds and crapping on you.
Or that was me. I was the one, perched over and crapping personally on your clothes. Yeah.
All right, Ken, tell me this: who were your biggest influences or admirers in comedy?
I think I used to watch lots of like late night shows. I'd sort of take my dog for a walk around the block, and then it'd be like Letterman, Conan. Big fan of Norm Macdonald. So he's French Canadian.
God rest his soul. Yes,
He was
Norm.
And he could tell a really dry story, and it would just go and it'd be absurd, and then it would have, and it didn't even have to be that complex, but he just had a gift for doing that. So
I always found Norm's voice to be funny.
yeah,
It's the way he speaks. I mean, this guy could say anything, but coming out of his mouth in his voice just makes it funnier than anybody else would have said it.
He'd use like a vocabulary probably like 40 or 50 years ago sort of era. He's sort of locked into that time and place. So he's probably he'd probably be up there for me. That's probably the main ones.
I miss Letterman. I miss the Late Show with David Letterman. There was I'm not it's not I'm not to say that today's talk shows aren't good. I mean they're okay. Some of them are actually they do amazing sketches and amazing bits. But Letterman just kind of always delivered every single night. He was to me he was the perfect person to pick up the torch from Johnny Carson.
I think I started watching him a bit later because apparently he had his first sort of era, maybe on NBC, was supposed to be pretty experimental, where he's doing stuff in that Velcro suit and all these sort of stuff. And then on CBS was a different show and lot drier, a lot more sarcastic and that sort of thing. And I missed that first era, but just that was a sweet spot. All the interesting characters that he had, like the was it Buzz Melman and Rupert G's Hello Deli, just
the Deli Rupert,
interesting people, and he would just sort of poke at them and see what came out of them.
My cousin's got a picture of him and Rupert, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he got Rupert. And Rupert was huge. Letterman made him huge. And what was that guy's name? Biff? The black sound guy.
Biff Tannen or
no. That's Back to the Future. There was an actual real guy named Biff, and he was. I think he was part of the crew of the Letterman show. He always had the headphones on, so I don't know if he was the sound guy or whatever. But he would always make fun of him. And
Alan Calder, right? The announcer. He'd have some banter and get him to do some wild stuff as well. So it was just the energy of it.
Because Letterman got so good at the night show, at Late Show, that they invited him to host the Oscars.
Right. Okay.
And that was the year he hosted when Tom Hanks won for Forrest Gump. That's right. Okay. Yeah. And he put in his late night. He put in the top 10 in the Oscars.
Right.
The famous top 10 list of things. And I think a lot of people were criticizing his hosting of the Oscars, but I thought it was funny. He made it entertaining.
Have you watched his Netflix?
I've seen a couple of the episodes where he's interviewing celebrities.
Yeah.
I definitely saw the one when he interviewed Chappelle.
Where he got the
that was
stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because Dave Chappelle has a story to tell. And I'm not trying to rhyme here, but he's got a story to tell, and it's just so fascinating. I mean, you hang on his every word.
Yeah.
When this man speaks, you just listen, And Letterman also kind of possesses that kind of quality as well. And with Letterman being Jewish and Chappelle being Muslim, and the way they interact with each other is even more wow.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know? No, this is one of the perfect examples that a lot of people don't understand. Jewish people and Muslims and Christians, they don't have a problem with each other. They never have had. They never have had problems with each other. If they had a problem with each other, it's not from the religious perspective. Oh, you took the last egg roll, you asshole, or whatever. It would be like something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just people.
All right. Yeah. I just want to make that perfectly clear. So, so to see that, it's just so refreshing because that's how it was. That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone, all these horrible people in power that's trying to use that whole divide and conquer situation, they succeeded for a very long time. But then you see things like this.
Yeah.
That make you question. Hang, aren't they supposed to be disliking each other?
Yeah.
Isn't that the nature now? And for them to see it how it used to be, they're starting to wake up to it. And that's why that interview was so captivating to watch because, Chappelle was talking about how he visited Saudi, how he went to Mecca, how he prayed and went all to these places. And David's telling his part as well, how it all intertwines together. It's like, wow.
Something else. I read his book as well because I really, there's only a few books. I like biographies of comedians, even though I don't understand some of the history. Like when I read the Robin Williams one, I wasn't familiar with Mork and Mindy. Like,
oh, you weren't not?
Like, I know about the show and its importance, but I wouldn't know what any of the characters were.
Wow.
But just
did you ever see Mork and Mindy?
I think I've probably seen like a YouTube clip of it. Not
no!
Episode, so,
oh no!
Yeah.
Well, you know where Mork and Mindy was actually a spin-off from Happy Days.
Happy Days, right?
Because there was
I think Laverne and Shirley as well.
Laverne and Shirley. There were three sitcoms that were spin-offs from Happy Days. There was Laverne and Shirley, Mork and Mindy, and Joni Loves Chachi.
And also the Weezer music video for Buddy Holly. I think that's technically a spin-off as well. So.
Okay, definitely relatable because this was the 50s and Buddy Holly was massive in the 50s.
Yeah.
And, also died in the 50s. Poor man. But he was only in 2 episodes, I think. 1 or 2 episodes Robin Williams was in. But he had
an alien?
Yes, as the alien.
Right.
And he had such a massive impact that those episodes blew up so much. I think it was just the one episode because I think the first episode of Mork and Mindy was a flashback scene of a Happy Days moment. Henry Winkler was, I think, in the first episode.
Is this before the shark or after the shark?
Oh, no. Wait. It was after the shark in Happy Days.
Yeah.
So it was definitely after the shark in Mork and Mindy.
Okay.
Well, after he jumped the shark, everybody kind of lost interest in the show.
So they just had all these.
Yeah, it's like, okay, no, we don't believe this shit anymore. I mean, we know that Fonzie can do everything, but that was just like a pointless episode. What was the point of that episode?
Was introducing an alien character basically what they were doing to because the Flintstones had the little green kazoo.
Yeah.
Right? Did they do that for all sitcoms? Just throw an alien in there?
No, I don't know how they did it. I mean, if my memory serves, Robin Williams was part of Richie's dream. It never happened.
Right. Okay.
It was a dream. They're not going to just all of a sudden put an alien in a show that never expressed. But that's a cartoon. You can do anything in a cartoon. You can draw an eject sheet, and I can just pull it and be out of here before you know it. All right. And that would make sense because dinosaurs versus science kind of thing, the evolution, and it kind of relates to that. But putting aliens in Happy Days would be like putting aliens in Friends.
Yeah.
Like it has no business in there. It has to be part of somebody's hallucination or a dream. Then that would be funny, And then
that's why I stopped watching Murder, She Wrote. Whenever they had the little alien character turn up, I was like, I'm out.
Really? They had an alien in Murder, She Wrote?
No, they did not.
I say the thing is, I wouldn't have known because my mother used to love that show. I was too young to want to enjoy it. I'm not going to watch an old lady who writes books that can freaking solve murders because she writes books about murders.
Telling the truth, but this is also my face for punchlines.
Okay, so, I got to remember that.
I should have given you a forewarning.
No, I got to remember. That's good. I like that. I like to be surprised. But in the end, what happened was Robin Williams made such a huge impact that they had to give him his own show.
Yeah.
And it blew up. It was a big thing. It was a perfect continuation from Happy Days. And Happy Days still went on till the mid or early 80s. It stopped.
Okay.
So it went on for a long time.
Question Question 2.
Yeah, I think we got that far. Okay. Have you ever bombed on stage?
So I listened to the episode with Haral where you sort of described it as where people are booing you. I don't think I've had boos. I think I've had groans.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of those were ones I'd manufactured, but other times when jokes generally haven't gone well. But I haven't been booed off stage.
Okay. Is it because people are just being more considerate or more polite, or because if this was the 80s or 90s and you didn't do too well, they'll actually boo.
Yeah, well, it might be just the vibe here is a little bit more like understanding. Whereas I hear in the UK, like you go to a pub and do a thing, and if they don't like you, they'll just yell at you to get off or whatever. So it might just be a very.
They used to throw paper and trash at people. They used to throw things at you if you didn't do well.
But the tomatoes are expensive. So.
Well, maybe today. I'm sure back in those days they were like, you can get 10 for like 15 cents.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no flybys.
No. Or afterpay in those days.
Yeah.
When you write, do you write your material? Or do you dot point your material? How is it when you prepare for a set? How do you do your thing?
So like I sort of have ideas that I've jotted down in various forms, and then I do try and type them out, not as a script, but just so I can practice. These are the key points I don't want to miss. And then I sort of rehearse those points a bit, and then they become like a single word. This is the fart joke, or this is the joke with 2 farts in it. I'm pretty complex.
Fart jokes, for some reason, are the only jokes that never seem to get old.
Yeah, they're pretty universal.
Yeah. Bodily function still to this day, after so many decades of it being experimented with, it still makes people laugh.
And then the final stage, what I do, so whenever I've decided what jokes I'm going to do on a night, is I make these like pictograms so that I can memorize the sequence of the jokes.
Okay.
Because I used to have like a little scrap of paper that I would write, this joke, that joke, fart joke number 3, just so I'd remember the sequence. But now I use that so I could sort of memorize it a bit better. So, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's a bit hard sometimes to, I don't feel comfortable on stage, looking at my phone a lot or...
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to if you've sort of lost tracks.
I remember my first 2 times on stage, I had my phone and I highlighted the part where I would always struggle to remember.
Yeah.
I would remember the most of it, but I would always highlight it in yellow or something. So when I look at my phone, that's where I'm up to. And it's just a quick glance. Just to jog the memory. I wouldn't read it from the phone, just to jog my memory where I'm supposed to be at. Because I like to treat my stand-up like a one-man play.
Did you ever write it out as a script?
Yes.
Or have the wording right? Or?
No. What I did, I think till this day, I still do the same thing. I write it word for word as if I'm writing a play.
Yeah.
Because it's important to me.
Brainstorming. Where you get all the thing and then cut it.
It's very important to me because when I write scripts for my sketches and then I have a read, so many more ideas come out when you're having that read. And then you add it into it and you can make this joke even better or funnier. Whatever. Comes up. It just, So when I write my material like a script, I'm rehearsing it and I'm saying it. And when I'm doing that, ideas pop up. I'm going to add this in. Now this joke can go in this direction instead of the direction that it was supposed to be going. And I just change it around and it gets better because I rehearse it and I say it over and over. And to the point where I've got enough to remember that I don't say it word for word anymore.
Yeah.
But I know where I'm going. All right. It's it's kind of like ad-libbing and paraphrasing. Yep. So it's no longer word for word. Certain jokes have to be word for word. Yeah. But when I get to other topics, I don't have to do it for word. I can improvise.
Some jokes where you have an optimal wording that you locked in.
And when you know what that joke's about, you know how to tell it. You know when to pause for the punchline before you deliver that punchline. You just...
some stories, it's as long as you touch on those elements and, you don't need to have the exact words. So.
Yeah, but in the end, I will always start by writing it all down.
Yeah.
Like a script. And that's just the way I prefer it to be. Because I used to do plays. I used to be in drama. Yeah. And we used to get...
And it makes sense for sketches and stuff.
Yeah, and we used to read all this stuff and had to memorize all that stuff. We have to memorize their lines as well, so we know when our cue is to say our lines.
Yeah.
And I think that also helps because I believe acting is a very important tool to have for stand-up. if you know how to do some certain facial expressions, some kind of acting,
very true.
I think it really helps with your stand-up, especially when it comes to storytelling, or if you want to mimic a family member. You know, I mean, I'm not talking about impersonations of celebrities that everybody knows. That's a different talent on its own.
Yeah.
All right. But I'm talking about, when you want to, talk about a particular person, you need to know how to mimic that particular person's mannerisms and characteristics, and that can really, really make a huge effect on your comedy. And if you want to make a reaction shot of how an infant would react to something adult happened, you want to be able to capture that expression that child could make, which would make it funny.
That is something I struggle with because I'm pretty like this generally all the time.
Stephen Wright.
And like Aaron Chen, it works for him, where it's just dry delivery and it works.
Yeah.
But then there's part of me where it's like, it'd be good to have that skill of being emotive, being able to move around and that stuff.
Yeah.
I think like clowning, I think that's supposed to be a skill or like a part that you can develop where you gain the physical movement aspect. So that's maybe something that
you can. But there are comedians like Stephen Wright.
Yeah.
It's just who looks like he just woke out of bed and just got on stage.
Yeah.
And it works.
It's like
it just works.
Yeah.
That's his style. He owns that style.
Yeah.
He doesn't do impressions. And if he did an impression, it'd be the same sounding voice.
And that'd be a funny joke.
And that would be funny in itself.
This is my impression of Kermit the Frog, and he just talks the same way. That'd be not, and then great.
No, I think it's always good to have something. Everybody delivers something that most can't. Yeah. Like for example, Jim Carrey, the guy can tell jokes without saying a word. He could just use his facial muscles, and
that used to be his specialty too. I think he was quite known for his improv stuff. Another Canadian. Yeah. His impressions, and then he decided to go a different pathway from there. So yeah.
Here's a trivia that you might not know. Did you know that Jim Carrey was approached by Mike Myers to play Dr. Evil?
Right, okay. Did he say no?
No. He said, you should play Dr. Evil. You should play Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. And Mike Myers was like, that's a genius idea. Because he actually, Canadians like to help other Canadians.
Yeah.
Right? And Mike Myers is just so lovable and humble type person, and I think he wanted to look for an opportunity to work with Jim Carrey, and this probably would have been one of the most opportune times to make that happen. But Jim Carrey made the movie even better by saying, you know what, you should just play both characters, and Mike Myers nailed both characters, and he made a couple of other characters with Fat Bastard and Goldmember. But interestingly enough, if Jim Carrey was in that film, I still think it would have been as equally as funny, if not maybe a little funnier, because Jim can bring something to the table that is not written, that is not scripted.
Well, he's Eggman, like Dr. Robotnik in the Sonic movies, and he's great at that. That'd be
my son dragged me to those films, but I only watched it because Jim Carrey was in it. I didn't know much about Sonic. I played the game maybe once, in the original one on the Sega.
He's very fast.
Yeah, I know that. So is Super Mario Brothers. Maybe not as fast as Sonic. Not as fast as Sonic, but he
does a spin attack.
Yeah, okay, fine. Does the loop shit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I remember that game. It was a fun game. I did play it on Sega, but I was a Nintendo person. But my friend bought a Sega for that game, and I played it and I clocked it.
He's a hedgehog as well.
Sonic the Hedgehog, yeah. But we watched the film. I fell asleep. But I only woke up and saw the part with Jim Carrey, and then the rest of it I just fall asleep. So just wake me up when Jim Carrey's back on. Because I would fall asleep in the cinema. I'm not into that. I love animation, but the Sonic just put me to sleep.
That was a good movie.
The first one I watched, which I enjoyed. The second one was okay. The third one, I know it was actually funnier because Jim Carrey was really funny in that. But
he plays,
I was falling asleep.
Or something as well.
But I kept on falling. I kept on nodding off. Okay. Maybe I was tired that day. I don't know what I was doing. But yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if Jim Carrey was in Austin Powers, if he played Dr. Evil, he would have given it something that Mike Myers would not have come up with.
I think it would go a little something like this.
I have no idea. I can't tell you. I can't tell you what's in mind. I can't tell you what's in the genius mind of Jim Carrey. But what I do know for certain is that he would have given it something that the writers could not have written for him to do.
You think he would also have done the Lorne Michaels impression that is the basis for Mike Myers' Dr. Evil? Or?
Don't know. Don't know.
I wonder if that was always attached to it or
yeah,
not.
we don't know because like I'm sure Mike Myers wrote this character. Maybe he wrote it specifically for Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Who knows? Okay. All I know is that he wanted Jim Carrey to play Dr. Evil.
They need a different mini-me as well.
Probably.
Like, would he be bald still? Many questions.
This was only the first Austin Powers before the second one was even written. So Mini-Me's idea hadn't even existed yet.
Is he only in the second one?
No, he comes in the second one.
Oh, right. Okay.
And the third one. He's not in the first one.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
But anyway, that would have been an interesting thing. You know, in some other dimension, Jim Carrey is Dr. Evil.
And Nicolas Cage is Superman.
Oh, God. No.
No?
I know. I've seen pictures of it, and I know that it happened, but so was Ben Affleck. I was like, no.
Yeah. He was Superman?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You know, I mean, which is kind of ironic because he kills him, because Batman kills Superman in the other film.
What about Snyderverse? You know, like the ending of the Justice League, right, where they're in the desert, and that's the sort of the alternate world. Did you see the end of Justice League? Or?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't. No, I don't remember actually. I just know that when I'm watching DC films, I tend to nod off as well. I mean, Marvel keeps me awake. I'm not saying that DC sucks, but I give DC credit for their Batman films, except for the last Batman, which was completely shit. But the one with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, I like that one.
No, I fell asleep within 15 minutes of that freaking movie, and I really tried. And I was like Austin, not Austin Powers. I was like Rowan Atkinson when he was in church trying to stay awake. I was like this. I was like, this is a 3-hour movie. I'm gonna watch this fucking thing. All right, I'm exaggerating. I didn't fall asleep after 15 minutes. I fell asleep after 47, 48 minutes.
Yeah, right.
And it got weird, man. Why is Batman doing detective work with the police?
Yeah.
You know, why is he in there taking notes and shit? That's not a Batman thing to do. I don't know if that's a comic thing or that's how he was. Because he became a detective. He was a detective in a Batman suit. To me, that's just a policeman who's a detective who's dressed up as Batman who should be committed. I mean, it just didn't make any sense why he was in there with the police. You know, I mean, he's supposed to, because he just shows up for one policeman, the commissioner, and then when the commissioner turns and then turns back and he sees him gone, that's Batman, right? Batman was in everybody's face, like he's not going anywhere, and they're taking notes from this guy, and like, come on.
Maybe he's canonically against the paperwork.
I don't know.
Element of it.
I don't know. It just didn't seem right. It just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? Like, okay, the chase, the car chasing sequence. Okay, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, you can sneak in a good action scene here and there, but overall,
yeah,
just That's my comment. The best critical comment I've ever heard of a movie ever was one line about the movie Titanic.
Okay.
This was the critical section I read in the paper. This is what this guy wrote. Titanic, ... It sinks, ... That was it.
Spoiler.
Jeez. He didn't say anything about the love story. He didn't say anything about the characters, about the acting, the direction, or the special effects.
Did he see it?
Huh?
Because that's actually just a small part.
But you know what? It's like he's saying it sinks, at the same time it stinks, and it sinks.
Yeah, right.
You know,
what letters didn't he use?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I just found it very clever and direct to the point, and it was true.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know that the Titanic sank, it's just that you had no knowledge of your own history.
Did he do that for all of his movies? Does he have like
No. He just did that for the Titanic.
Bruce Willis.
I don't know what he's doing.
Is that his
No, he didn't do that. No. See, that's a spoiler. Because Titanic is a historical thing that the world should know that has happened. You know, I worked in a movie theater. Actually, I was working at the Piccadilly Cinemas in North Adelaide in 1998.
It's beautiful there. It's beautiful there.
Yeah, in 1998, I was 19 years old when the Titanic came out. And I would always see these same types of girls that would walk out crying, bawling, and I was like, you know, Leo wasn't the only one that died in the film. You know, if you're crying, if you're crying, you should be crying for that mother that put those 2 kids to sleep when the water was running underneath them.
They died too.
Yeah, that's who you should be crying for. You, not that pretty boy.
Women and children were supposed to get the lifeboats.
No, not the poor ones. You know, and this guy, he went out for a smoke, and he goes, "Fuck, the movie's fucking over 3 hours long." He goes, "Yeah." So what happened at the end? And I was like, "You're joking, right?" "No, what happened?" You do know about the Titanic? Yeah, it's a fucking ship. Yeah. that sank. The fucking movie sank.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Fuck, I didn't know that.
He
Dude.
might have been, you think he was tricking you or?
I don't know. No. I saw the blank look on his face.
Yeah, right.
He thought it was a fictitious film. He had no idea that it was about a ship that actually did sink. He just thought it was a love story that his girlfriend wants to see.
There's a theory that it didn't sink and that's a duplicate ship. There's
so they're trying to M. Night Shyamalan on the Titanic?
Something like that. Yeah. It's a good podcast too, but it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't hold water.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't hold water. I concur. Now that we're done with the big debate of movies and Shyamalan and Titanics and dumb people that don't know the Titanic actually existed.
You've actually helped me fill in so many plot endings about the briefcase and everything. So
we've been doing a lot of movie talk today.
Educational
All right.
for me. Thank you.
Okay. Finish this sentence for me.
Okay.
Comedy is.
It's lots of fun.
Okay.
Oh, do I have to use one word or more?
No. It can be a whole paragraph.
Okay. No, just lots of fun. I think that's the point of it.
Okay. Now let's get to the existential part of the podcast.
Sure.
Do you think comedy for you is a way of avoiding the big question of life, or is it in a way kind of answering them?
Probably for me, it's probably more the avoiding, because most of my jokes are just like dad puns, wordplay, that sort of stuff. So none of it's very deep what I do on stage ever. So probably that avoidance, distraction, just something enjoyable to watch. Mm-hmm. Sort of the popcorn level of enjoyment, maybe.
So would you say when you're on stage, you are more yourself or less yourself?
So I've had people like known to me outside of comedy, and they're like, wow, you look comfortable there. And I don't look comfortable anywhere at all times. At any stage, do I look comfortable? And people saying, you look really comfortable on stage there. And it's not something I'm doing on purpose. So I must be enjoying myself to the extent that my body relaxes.
So you feel more at home on stage than you do off stage kind of thing?
Maybe, probably.
Yeah.
Like, even the social, talking with people, all that sort of stuff is something I find hard to do.
Yeah.
Whereas on stage, it's like, I get to just let people into my weird little world for 5 minutes, and then it's done. And then, I get to move on and have that enjoyment. So, yeah.
Okay, so when you're doing a comedy, do you feel like you're connecting with people more or escaping from them?
I would say actually connecting, even though it's quite artificial. I get to pick whatever I'm going to be talking about, all that sort of stuff. Just being able to think about how people are going to receive it. Are they going to understand it? Trying to, make all those connections so that they're able to engage with it. That feels pretty good. And then people coming up afterwards saying, "Oh, that was quite funny. Enjoyed your stuff." That feels warm afterwards. And sometimes, having a chat with them afterwards about other stuff. Like I did a spot on Nevermind on Thursday. Yeah. And there's just some people that were there early having a bit of general chat. I was like, generally, like if I was catching the bus or the train, I wouldn't really have a chat with people in public. But I guess I'm a bit more comfortable to do that, even if it's not on stage quite yet. So
cool.
It's good.
Yeah, I've been meaning to go to Nevermind, but I contacted them, but I never heard a reply. What's the most useless talent do you have there, Kent?
Not sure if it's a talent, but it's probably like pop culture knowledge. Even though I've proven today that sort of 80s, 90s music and films is probably like on a trivia night, I really enjoy it. I could really do pretty well generally. So, and I don't do any of that on purpose. I guess I've probably just consumed too much pop culture.
I wouldn't call that, but is that useless? I mean, I get that you can't get paid for that unless you win a prize if you did so well.
I've won some prizes.
So it's not totally useless.
We won the Simpsons trivia at the Gov. Wow. They had a Simpsons Halloween trivia at the Gov. And we got like gift certificates.
10 years ago, I probably would have known every answer to those questions.
Well, yeah, I only know the back era. So a friend and I, he sort of watched the old, headed to the new, and I watched the new, headed back to the.
Here's
the
some
old.
trivia for you. You're into trivia?
All
Okay, okay. This is out of the book now.
12.
All right.
Okay.
Which comedian came up with this following joke? I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of widths.
Ellen.
Not even close. That was Stephen Wright. It's okay. It's okay.
What's the widths part though?
Because he's not afraid of heights. He's afraid of widths. That's his one. That's a joke.
With the D?
Yeah, widths.
So what's scary about the width? Or it's
it
just
isn't because a lot of people are scared of height. Nobody is scared of width. That's the premise of the joke. Okay, I'll give you. Here's one more. This jacket is dry clean only, which means it's dirty.
It sounds like Mitch Hedberg.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
I was going to say he's probably also like that elevator bit. Yeah. That's a classic. That's so good. So yeah.
Now Mitch is terrific. And of course, one final one, and even the new generation should know this one. I don't get no respect.
Ooh, that one. That is definitely David Spade. Doesn't get enough respect, but it's Rodney Dangerfield.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're doing that thing again, weren't you?
Sorry.
Yeah.
And then the small comes out after.
You were misleading. You were trying to mislead me, and I wasn't. I almost bought it. I was like, no. I'm not falling with that one.
I'm dumb.
No. That's like saying who came up with hee, and you're gonna tell me it was Bon Jovi. No. That's too easy.
Bon Jovi, he stole that one. So yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Which historical figure do you think will make a good comedian?
I think all of them, to gain the heights of politics or whatever, you have in the olden days before there was marketing teams or whatever behind everything.
Before campaigns, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Before campaign marketing?
Well, I guess campaigns have always been a thing.
Yeah.
But being able to be a good spokesman, like an orator, that sort of thing. I think anyone really probably would have been able to have that sort of charm, charisma, wit, quickness that serves you to win some points in politics or to, do stand-up. So any sort of political leader.
Do you have a name in mind?
Look, I'll say maybe I think did someone say JFK the other time or yeah. Mm-hmm. Just someone that's able to sort of, like the Beatles, like all those interviews where they were just so clever and charming or whatever. It's like, that's all it is just banter and that, and whatever they came up with was funny.
Did you ever watch Did you ever watch The Hard Way, the Dewey Cox story?
Not yet. And I do want to see that too.
There's a scene with the Beatles.
Terrible impressions of the Beatles, is that right?
There was a scene with the Beatles and it's hysterical.
I'm desperate to see that.
Jack Black plays Paul, and every time
they say their name, right?
No, yeah. But every time Paul has a line, he has a different British accent.
Right.
So it's uniquely done. I highly recommend it.
I've seen it in YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, yeah. So. But speaking of how you're talking about the old days, did you know what one of Richard Nixon's campaign slogan was? That the people were holding?
Dick, right?
Yes. You can't lick our dick.
What?
Yeah.
Lick as in beat. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense in an old time.
Yeah, but
that's something Norm Macdonald would probably his vocabulary.
But the fact that was walked around in the 60s, you can't lick our dick. Like fucking hell. And did they not see that? I mean, were they so conservative and so innocently blind they couldn't see that pun? They couldn't put that together and say, you know what? I think we might have to change this. I don't know. You can't beat our dick. I don't think even makes it
sounds like a lyric from the current pop music. Am I right?
Okay. All right. If you can do your comedy for any audience in history, which time period would you choose?
Now, I do want to preface this by saying I've watched all your episodes.
Yeah, he's the only true fan. One of the true fans that I've got.
Definitely. Which one's the camera I look at?
That one.
Okay. Yeah. So I have the benefit of having thought of this, having heard you ask it multiple times. But I do think cavemen, they haven't seen Mr. Bean yet. They haven't seen Three Stooges. They haven't seen Mitch Hedberg. So it's kind of like that movie Yesterday, right, where the Beatles don't exist. So anyone that can do a half-assed version of the Beatles would
be amazing.
Kill.
Yeah.
So Caveman, that would be the best.
Tom said that last week.
Oh, Tom!
You haven't seen that episode because that episode is going to be released in a couple of days. No, not until Tuesday.
Oh my goodness!
You know, still an original answer. He did say
Caveman period.
We were mimicking the caveman, like, and we were saying Jim Carrey would have been the best because he would have been able to tell the jokes with his face, like, and
True.
So, yeah. Oh God, you missed it by this much.
I've always felt a kindred connection to Tom. So
when you see this episode, it's out on Tuesday, the 11th, at 3:30 p.m. of November. Check it out. Oh wow, how's that for a freaking coincidence? Okay, here's another existential question. If sense of humor was to disappear overnight, how do you think the world would react to that? How would the world be able to function, do you reckon?
And not specifically comedians, but
no,
just the human
the humor
aspect.
itself.
I think, but the rest of the sort of emotional spectrum of depression and all that still exists. Yeah, I think that would be terrible. I think everything would just go down the toilet just because that's a coping. I think humor sort of maybe back to what you asked about distraction, avoidance sort of thing. Sometimes that's how we get by a day is by turning on something dumb on TV or scrolling through the phone and watching silly things. And yeah, without that sort of enjoyment, that would probably be a dark place for lots of people. So I would just be walking my dog without watching David Letterman afterwards. That would be, what's the point?
Well, Letterman will be there, but the jokes won't be. He'll just be talking about politics or what's going on during the day and whatever.
Yeah, that'd be depressing.
Yeah. Of course.
Would he still have Paul Schaefer in the band?
Yeah, but he just won't be as, he'll still be very, very gay. And he just won't, and he'll still be very flamboyant, but just nobody would find that funny.
Paul Schaefer. Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
It's like, wait, David Letterman? But yeah.
Paul Schaefer is gay.
What music? I'm not sure. What music?
If I'm not, I'm sorry, Paul, but I thought you were. Okay.
He's Canadian as well. So the loss of humor, does that mean songs with humorous elements are also gone?
All gone, everything. And nothing with a sense of humor.
No jokes?
Probably used as a way of teaching metaphor or psychology.
Okay.
Like just
peekaboo for like babies.
No, yeah.
Object permanence.
It won't be so much as a peekaboo as it goes, "Where's mommy? Where's daddy?" It's just like you know what I mean? Because the humor part is gone. That little excitement part is gone. So
yeah, right.
So it's like laughter would no longer exist either.
This is rattled my cage.
Okay, let's move on to that. Let's get out of the whole existential part of it all. What is the joke that you heard that you thought was so hysterical, so great, so genius that you wish you had written it?
Are you familiar with James McCann? He's an Adelaide comedian that's I think overseas at the moment. He's quite big.
Good for you, James.
I think he got mentioned. Maybe Paul mentioned him as well. And he does this bit about fool me once, shame on. What is it? Fool me once, shame on you.
Fool me twice, shame on me.
And then he goes like third time, fourth time, fifth time. I think he says he's got it up to 12 or something. And it is a genius joke. I don't know if you want to put the link in the below. And there's lots of different versions that he's done online. So there's somewhere he only makes up to 6 or 9 or whatever. Okay. It's a very funny joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's one where I'm like, oh damn, that is so clever. That is so well constructed. I really like that joke. So
if I had to choose a one-line joke that I wish I came up with, it would definitely be the one that Richard Pryor told in 1973, I think it was. He gets on stage and he says, "If I have to die, presuming that I will, I want to die just like my father. My daddy died fucking. He was 52. The woman was 18. He came and went at the same time. Now imagine hearing that in 1971 or 73.
Wordplay too. You'd have to. That's one of the jokes where you need the wording to be perfect. Yeah.
And how he delivered it, how he said it, it was just like, and the crowd was on its knees, man. They were tearing, right. And I was like, and when I first heard it, I couldn't stop laughing. It was terrific. The man's a comedical genius.
Probably another joke, and it's one that's I don't know. My dad told me it like forever ago, but it's. Did you hear about the constipated accountant? He had to work it out with a pencil. That one has been wedged deep in my soul for probably 30 years. So yeah.
I came up with a joke that I really wanted to do the other night, but I didn't get called up, so I didn't have a chance to do it. And I shouldn't say it, but because it should be left for the stage. But fuck it, I'm going to say it to you because here. When I was married, my wife used to constantly nag me about how I should get more in touch with my feminine side. So I crashed the car.
Okay, one of those. Okay.
It goes a bit further than that, but that's what it starts. But that pause is very, very important before you deliver that punchline.
My wife is generally a better driver than I am, so.
How did the hell did that happen? Okay, before we get into the 10 questions that I tell everybody, that I ask everybody, you have some questions for me, I believe?
Yes, and I don't know how many of these questions will duplicate these questions or the previous ones.
All right, hit me.
So these are questions from, it's on a podcast called Good Ones. Do you know Good Ones? I believe the guy's called Jesse David Fox. Mm-hmm. And I think he works for Vox or something like that. And he does this podcast. It's called The Podcast About Jokes. And he interviews comedians, lots of American comedians, but other comedians as well. And he takes it with journalism, basically, where he's watched these people perform the jokes and he's tracked how a joke has evolved, what words have dropped off, what words have grown in. And so at the end of every episode, he has a laughing round. So it's like the lightning round.
But the laughing round. That's
comedy
clever.
Podcast.
That's clever. That's clever.
So some of these are similar to the ones you've asked or will ask.
Okay.
But I'll ask them to you as I guess as a comedian. Number one, do you have a favorite joke, like a street joke or a dad joke?
Well, I think I came up with a dad joke that I love very much, but I think I do have a favorite joke that I like in the way that it was told.
Okay.
Again, going back to Richard Pryor, when he was talking about how police treat black people completely different to the way they treat white people. You see, and white people don't believe this because the police live in your neighborhood. So you know them as Officer Timpson. Hello, Officer Timpson. You going bowling tonight? See, we don't know them like that. See, when they stop us in our car, right, you're like, yes, hello. When they stop you as a white people in the car, you go, yes, Mr. Officer, I'm happy to help. Here's my license and registration. It doesn't work like that. Well, that's different. It's like, I am reaching into my pocket for my license because I don't want there to be no motherfucking accident. You know, the way he just said that.
Yeah.
And how he told that, I cried.
Okay.
I know the joke doesn't sound as funny, but the way he delivered it is like the funniest thing I ever heard ever.
White folks get a ticket, they pull over. Hey, officer, yes, glad to be of help. Nigga got to be talking about, I am reaching into my pocket for my license. Because I don't want to be no motherfucking accident.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Do you have a Mount Rushmore of stand-up comedians?
Yes.
Top 4.
Yes. Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle. If I have to put a white guy on there, it'll be either George Carlin. Yeah, it'll be either George Carlin or Louis C.K. and probably George Carlin. So that's 3. And number 4 is always the hard part because I would if it was the early 90s, I would say Eddie Murphy, but he became very family oriented. And so it'll definitely
great movies though.
Yeah, no, great film, but his stand up only 2 specials. It'll be a coin flip between these 3. Eddie Griffin, Bernie Mac, or Cat Williams?
I guess some of them are still active.
Because Bernie Mac passed, but he was amazing.
Yeah.
But then again, Mitch Hedberg, if I had to choose, because Mitch Hedberg was great too. But the top three I could definitely say is Chappelle, Pryor, and Carlin.
All right. Yeah. He usually asks a question where, and I think it's probably the one that you've said for the previous one. It's if there was a joke that you could steal it and it becomes your joke and there's no history attached to it, like no one will remember it was the other person's joke, what joke would that be? So I'm not sure if it's the Richard Pryor joke.
No. That's just the one that I really, really liked. I do have one. I'm just trying to remember from which special it was.
For me, that, like having heard that James McCann Fool Me Once thing.
Yeah,
Once you hear it, you're like, oh, crap, that's perfect. I'd love to have that. Yeah.
I guess it would definitely be Dave Chappelle's joke about how he stopped smoking weed, but with his own people. He only smokes weed with white people.
Okay.
And the story that goes with that. That would be something that I wish I would have come up with.
Put your stamp on it, yeah.
And that's and the thing is, I don't even smoke weed, but I just found that so funny that I want to smoke weed just so I can tell that joke. So, if I had to smoke weed to erase the fact that Dave Chappelle came out with that joke and it'll all be mine, I'll blaze up right now.
Make the trade. Okay.
Yeah.
And he does other jokes because sometimes he has like actors or other types of performers. So there's variations on the jokes. This is one. What is a joke that you've tried multiple times, but the audience didn't like it for whatever reason, but you will go to your grave saying, I was right, they were wrong. This is still fun. This is funny. You have one where you're like, no, that's a good joke.
I only got to tell this joke once. And I only told it once because I could only tell it once. Because it was only because it was my very first time performing. So this joke was about me performing. And I tested this joke on a lot of people. Okay. And some said it was hilarious. And others said, don't do it. People won't find it funny. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this joke because I think it's fucking funny. Okay. I got on stage and I said, this is my first time. I have no idea why I'm here. And I don't know how this is going to turn out. The way I see it, I've got one of two stories to tell when I get home to my wife. And this is when I was still married. I could say, baby, story number one, and I hope this is the one. Baby, you should have seen me out there. They were laughing at everything I said. They were eating at the palm of my hand, honey. I killed them. That would be a good story, right?
Yeah.
But knowing that it's me, the story that I'm going to be ending up telling my wife is, baby, it was horrible. It was a fucking nightmare. They booed me off stage. So, I killed them. So that's how I delivered the joke. And I got laughs.
Okay.
But when I was showcasing this joke to friends and people that I was meeting, I'm thinking of saying this joke. Do you think it's funny? Do you think it's not funny? And a lot of people were like, yeah. Some people said, it's kind of predictable where you're going. Really? Yeah, because the joke went further because I carried with me a bag.
Right.
All right. And goes, you guys laughed. Okay, so I won't need this because that's the bag that, and that had the weapon that would kill everybody. Yeah. And I was like, babe.
If your jokes get quieter, it'll come a bit closer.
Yeah. And I was like, babe, we get our passports because we're wanted for murder and you're technically an accessory. Yeah. So, it went a bit further and further and further. Yeah. So that was my opening joke on my very first night that I ever did stand-up.
Right.
So I can't tell that again.
No.
So that was only a one-time thing. But that was a joke that I was debating myself with. Should I tell it? Should I not tell it? But I do like it, but others don't. But I want to do it anyway.
And sometimes that's it. Like you'll tell the same thing to so many people. They'll give you opposite opinions on the parts that they like or dislike. And you just have to go by your own sort of barometer of, no, this is funny. And even if it doesn't go, it's funny for me. And then sometimes you go, it's not worth it. I know it's funny, but yeah, it's not. No one else does, so I'll keep that in the me pile.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
No worries. That was it. Them. I just thought I'd run them.
Okay. Now the roles are reversed. We did some role reversal in this podcast today. That was kind of interesting. All right. Let's get to the James Lipton questions.
I'm familiar with James Lipton.
Yeah. And if you guys have been watching, you should be familiar with him by now too. All right. Here we go. What is your favorite word?
I forgot about all these. I don't know. favorite word. Malapropism.
Definition? No.
I think it's where you use the wrong word for comedic effect. Like, and I might be using it wrong, ironically.
Okay.
But I think it's like, like rocket surgery or something.
All right. What is your least favorite word?
Moorish. That's something
like saying more of something.
Yeah, like that dish is so good. It's so Moorish. I'm like, I just don't like how it sounds.
Okay. What turns you on?
I think novelty. I think things that are different and interesting. That's where it's exciting. And you always with other guests, you've prefaced that this is not a sexual question, so
I had to, because they thought that I was talking that I was because they were probably expected to say titties or nice ass or whatever. That's not what I meant, Okay, yeah. But see, the first few episodes I had to specify. It had to go to 5-6 episodes before I had to just say what turns you on without adding the following words: creatively, spiritually, emotionally. It was turning into an Oprah episode. I didn't want that. Okay, what turns you off?
Probably like negative energy, like just drain. Yeah, it's like a rain cloud.
Yeah,
it's like that's a bit tiring.
No, it's exhausting as well.
Yeah.
What is your favorite curse word?
So I like French Canadian. They have their own curse words that the French in France don't have. And a lot of theirs are all quite sacrilegious. They have to do with the communion, so the different elements of it. And then, of course, just like how there's lower levels, right? How like there's like frig, and like people can downgrade it. So I like the one that's Colin, which is itself isn't, but it's referring to a different swear word. And there was this Canadian sketch show where, and I've tried to find a copy of it. I know I have it on a VHS tape somewhere, where they have the family have adopted a stray dog, and they've named him Colin because that's all the dog says. Now, it's not an actual dog. It's a French-Canadian man who's acting like a dog. So, like at the barbecue, like the dad's grilling sausage, hot dogs up, and he'll just grab one or whatever, and he's peeing on the car, and they're going for a walk and they have to drag him. Is
this one of the things that you're doing where I'm trying to be misleading?
Not at all. Yeah. If I find it, I will send it to you because it is so good. But Colin is a great.
And what does that mean exactly?
So I think the normal one is chalice, which refers to the chalice of communion. I think of Catholic sacrament. I'm not too familiar myself.
But it's a curse word.
And then it's like anything. If you take something sacred and use it, sacrilegiously. Wow. Then that becomes a swear word. So yeah.
Wow.
But I like the safer the down version of it, which is Colin. So yeah.
That's the most informative answer I ever had to that question. Wow.
Yeah.
That was
could have gone for that normal Australian one, but
it can't. Everyone says that. But no, that was the lecture on that question. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. I just didn't expect that. That was great. That's what I like about these podcasts.
I had some time to think about it. I was I think that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
I've got some good ones.
Colin.
You have to say it with resentment.
Okay.
With Colin.
Okay, fair enough. All right. What sound of noise do you love?
Kind of like popcorn popping's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, that's really, it's very happy.
It's random. You don't know when it's going to go. You can get 30 kernels or one. Yeah.
What sound of noise do you hate?
And not to, I think it's biologically programmed that, maybe not hate, like kids crying because you're like, it's normal for kids to cry. And you're like, there's might be nothing to resolve it. So just, I guess, hearing that someone's in pain or discomfort, that sort of thing, you're like, that's, you hope it gets resolved. And again, I don't hate children or children crying. That's what they're supposed to do many times. But I guess that we're biologically programmed to respond to that. So
yeah. Especially when you hear them in the movie theater, you're like, what the fuck are they doing here?
There's like sometimes people bring kids to the weird things, and you're like, that's interesting choice. But
yeah. Okay, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I say like maybe surgery. Just doing some surgery. Just give it a go. Who knows? I might be good at it.
Yeah, just give it a go.
I might be good at heart surgery or something.
Remove this part of the brain from this man or woman.
Let me warm up on some other.
Wow.
Who knows?
Okay.
Might be good.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard. But yeah, I think I'd be pretty good at surgery.
I didn't say I'd be good at it. I just said I'd give it a go.
Give it a. You give it a go when you're trying to put together an entertainment center. You give it a go when you're trying to change a tire that you never changed before in your life. But for somebody's life, you're going to give that a go. I think that life's going to go.
Look, if it's got to the point where they've asked me to do it, and I'm their best option, I'm not going to...
Okay, fine. If we're living in one of those apocalyptic type days, then fine. Whew! Damn, you don't seem to disappoint. I love your answers. Here we go. What profession would you not like to do?
You're not going to believe it.
Surgery?
Surgery.
Yes, I thought it. And I'm starting to read you now.
Brain surgery, man, that would be a tricky one.
I think that would be for a lot of people to be in charge of the fact that somebody's life, or having their life in your hands. No, I wouldn't want to do that either. Okay, and finally, if heaven exists.
Wait, isn't there one about swapping places with?
That was my questions.
Right.
Okay.
I have thought of that.
I didn't ask you that question.
If there was a comedian that you could swap places with them for was it a week?
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald.
Well, there you go.
Because then you would have experienced death for a week, and then you will be out of death. I don't.
I see what you get. I see what you did there.
So it doesn't have to be
because he's dead now. So if you swap to place with him now, you'd be in the grave for the next week.
Yeah.
So you'd be sleeping pretty comfortably, or
pretty. Yeah, I don't know. Just you would know what it was.
So it's just to know what death feels like.
Because then you'd experience death, and then you're back alive. Mm-hmm. So they'd be like, no, there was nothing afterwards.
Okay.
But I had that magic question that.
Okay, well then they get to this magic question.
Gave me so.
Yeah. So if heaven exists, because you don't know if heaven does, so he could be in heaven or in hell. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Hopefully something positive. That's
well, but the thing is, if heaven exists and you arrived at the gates, you would have arrived for the reason that you lived your life well. If you didn't live your life well and you weren't at the gates... So
that presupposes that I've already got the ticket.
Right. And then God kind of like greeting you in, and what do you want him to say when he's at the bouncer door? Well, actually, there wouldn't be any bouncers because everybody's welcome.
True. Why does it have to be a gate? Because if everyone's got wings...
No, the reason... Because, they're the gates of heaven,
right.
One Christian woman told me, you see those rays of light that's coming from the clouds and the sun? And goes, yeah, those are the gates of heaven. Oh.
No, not the rays from the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, just something positive. That'd be...
Yeah, like what? What up, my dog?
Maybe not.
Get your Canadian ass in here.
Yeah, maybe a list of the people that are inside that I can look forward to reconnecting with her. Yeah.
But what do you want God to say?
Am I making this difficult?
No, it's not. You're not making it difficult. You're just avoiding the simple question. Like, what do you want to hear the word that come out of God's mouth?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything specific.
Nothing specific. How about just like a head nod?
Yeah,
or
we could get by.
Or one of those.
We don't have to make eye contact, or
dude, if you were gonna meet God for the first time, you're gonna want to make eye contact.
First time?
Dude, you're gonna be seeing God in the flesh, or so to speak. I don't know what it's gonna be, or a ball of light, or human form. The people say God created man in His image, right? So technically, we all look like Him, or something like that. We're all our own gods. But you're gonna see this being, the Creator, the one who knows it all, and you don't have anything.
Look, my bar's low. Just anything positive.
Anything positive.
Up to Him.
Okay. What's up?
That would be surprising. That would be novel. Who knows?
Okay, you're the only one that I asked that question to that never gave me a direct answer. Just something positive. Okay, something positive. That's what he said.
Yeah, very literal.
Something positive. Okay, something positive I created that came back to me. Okay, and there you have it. I want to end up by saying on the 5th of December, you can check me out at the Christie's Beach. I'm going to be performing a show that's organized by Ali Dent. On December 6th, Chuckles Comedy with Tom Bode is going to be at the Blue Ivy on Hindley Street. We forgot to mention it last week when he joined us, so I'm mentioning it now. I've been your host, Magic and Dairy, aka Magic Leb. Be sure to follow me on my Instagram at Fame Film Agency and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Magic and Dairy. And again, I want to thank my very funny, very humble, very polite, very purposely avoiding to answer some of these questions, Mr. Kent Michael.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime, it was a pleasure. And until next time, everybody, peace out.
Yeah.
I'm broke, bitch.